The clock strikes 3. Goosebumps erupt on your arms. The hair on your neck prickles with a chilling awareness. You're not alone. This, my friends, is the witching hour. The time when logic sleeps and fear runs rampant. It's the time when the veil between our world and the unknown thins, allowing terrifying glimpses into the abyss. We crave these stories. The ones that make us sleep with the lights on. The ones that make us question every creak and groan in our homes. These are the stories that remind us we are not alone in the dark. We are united by our primal fear of the unknown. Tonight we delve into the chilling world of true horror. These aren't tales spun for entertainment. These are real-life nightmares, stories passed down through generations. They are documented accounts of the unexplained and the unsettling. They are whispers from the shadows, daring you to listen. So, gather round, brave souls, turn off the lights and lock your doors. Because tonight we're diving headfirst into the scariest true horror stories from around the world. On the outskirts of a forgotten town, shrouded in mist and decay, stands the Blackwood Asylum. Once a beacon of hope, now a chilling monument to despair. This isn't just any abandoned building. It's a place where the walls whisper with the agony of forgotten souls. The Blackwood Asylum opened its doors in the late 1800s, promising treatment for the mentally ill. What began as a noble endeavour soon descended into a nightmare. Patients reported seeing shadowy figures lurking in the halls. They spoke of disembodied voices whispering their names. Then the disappearances began. One by one, patients vanished without a trace. Their rooms left untouched, their belongings undisturbed. No explanations, no clues, just empty beds and a growing sense of dread. The staff, already on edge, couldn't explain the disappearances. They too reported strange occurrences, cold spots, unexplained noises, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched. The asylum shut down in the 1950s. It was deemed cold spots, unexplained noises, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched. The asylum shut down in the 1950s. It was deemed too dangerous, too steeped in fear and mystery. Today, it stands empty. A haunting reminder of the horrors that unfolded within its walls. Locals whisper tales of the asylum's dark past. They say the missing patients still roam the halls, their tormented souls forever trapped within the decaying walls of Blackwood. An old, dusty attic filled with the remnants of forgotten times. A forgotten diary bound in leather, its cover worn and pages yellowed with age. These are the ingredients of countless horror stories, the kind that send shivers down your spine. But for one family, this cliché became their terrifying reality, a nightmare they couldn't escape. The Hargrave family, excited to start fresh in a new home, stumbled upon a chilling secret hidden within the attic, a secret that would change their lives forever. It was a small, leather-bound diary, tucked away in a dusty corner, almost as if it was waiting to be found. Curiosity got the better of them, and they couldn't resist opening it. They cracked open the diary, unaware of the darkness they were about to unleash, a darkness that had been dormant for years. The diary belonged to a young woman named Abigail, who lived in the house over a century ago, her life now a distant memory. Her entries started innocently enough, filled with the mundane details of everyday life. She wrote about her daily life, her hopes and her dreams, painting a picture of a simpler time. But as the days turned into weeks, a sinister tone crept into Abigail's words, a darkness that couldn't be ignored. She wrote of strange occurrences in the house, events that defied explanation, shadows moving in the periphery, always just out of sight, voices whispering her name when no one was around, filling her with dread. Abigail's entries grew increasingly frantic, her fear palpable in every word. She believed something evil was inside the house, something toying with her sanity, driving her to the brink. Then the entries stopped abruptly, as if she had no more strength to continue. The last page contained only a single chilling sentence, scrawled in a shaky hand. "It's here." A final desperate warning. The Hargrave family, shaken to their core, couldn't shake the feeling that Abigail's story was not over, that her tormentor was still present. The diary wasn't just a relic of the past. It was a warning, a message from beyond the grave. The same evil that plagued Abigail was still present in the house, lurking in the shadows, waiting for its next victims, ready to continue its reign of terror. Section 4. Ghostly Echoes. Imagine this. You're exploring a remote village, nestled deep within a forgotten valley. The air is still, almost unnaturally so. The silence is broken only by the rustling of leaves and the distant caw of a crow, adding to the eerie atmosphere. It's the kind of peaceful isolation that travellers crave, a place where one can escape the hustle and bustle of modern life. But as the sun begins to set, casting long shadows across the deserted houses, the idyllic facade crumbles, revealing a more sinister reality. You realise you're not alone. The feeling of being watched becomes almost palpable. This was the terrifying reality for one lone traveller who stumbled upon the abandoned village of Silvertree, a place shrouded in mystery and fear. The village, once bustling with life, stood frozen in time, as if the clock had stopped ticking. Houses were left furnished, personal belongings scattered about, untouched by time. It was as if the inhabitants vanished in an instant, leaving behind a ghostly snapshot of their lives. As the traveller explored the eerie silence, he felt a growing sense of unease, a chill that seemed to seep into his very bones. The air grew heavy, charged with an unseen energy, making every breath feel laboured. He heard whispers carried on the wind, unintelligible voices echoing through the empty streets. Then he saw them, the figures that would haunt his dreams. Ghostly figures flitting between the houses, their movements almost too quick to catch. Translucent apparitions, their faces etched with sorrow and despair, as if they were reliving their final moments. They seemed unaware of his presence, trapped in an endless loop of their final moments, a haunting replay of their last actions. The traveller, paralysed by fear, could only watch as the spectral figures reenacted their final moments, unable to look away. The village of Silvertree was not just a collection of abandoned buildings. It was a place where time stood still. It was a prison for lost souls, their torment echoing through the ages, a haunting reminder of lives abruptly ended. Section 5. Letters from the Abyss. In the age of instant communication, a handwritten letter carries a certain weight. It is a tangible connection, a piece of the sender's soul captured on paper. The feel of the paper, the ink staining the page, the deliberate formation of each letter. Each stroke of the pen is a deliberate act, a moment of thought and intention. Now imagine receiving a letter not of love or friendship but of pure, unadulterated malice. A letter that chills you to the bone with its sinister intent. For one individual this became a terrifying reality. Their life turned into a nightmare with each new letter that arrived. The letters arrived sporadically, addressed in elegant handwriting, yet containing the most unsettling content. The beautiful script was a stark contrast to the horror within. The letters detailed the recipient's every move, their daily routines, their private conversations, their deepest fears. It was as if the sender had a window into their soul. It was as if someone was watching their every move, documenting their life with chilling accuracy. The sense of being constantly observed was suffocating. But it didn't stop there. The letters grew darker, more threatening with each passing day. The letters also contained threats, veiled at first, but growing increasingly menacing with each delivery. The recipient's sense of safety was shattered. The writer seemed to know the recipient's deepest insecurities, using them to exploit their fears and push them to the brink of madness. Local authorities were baffled, unable to provide any answers. Despite their best efforts, they couldn't trace the letters back to the sender. The mystery deepened with each untraceable letter. The recipient, living under a constant cloud of fear and paranoia, was left to wonder who was tormenting them and what their endgame might be. The uncertainty was a torment in itself. The letters were a constant reminder that someone, somewhere, had infiltrated their life. They were a symbol of the unseen threat that loomed over them. They were a prisoner in their own home, haunted by the written word. The letters, once a means of connection, had become chains that bound them in fear. Section 6. Embrace the darkness. As we reach the end of our journey into the depths of true horror, one thing becomes clear. Fear is a universal language. It transcends borders and cultures, uniting us in our primal need to understand the unknown. These stories, these real-life nightmares, serve as chilling reminders that the world is full of mysteries. There are dark corners where logic and reason hold no sway. But fear, while terrifying, can also be a source of fascination. It compels us to seek answers, to confront the darkness and emerge on the other side, forever changed by the encounter. So as you lie awake tonight, your mind racing with the unsettling details of these stories, remember this: you're not alone in your fear. Embrace the darkness, for it is in these moments of vulnerability that we truly connect with the power of the unknown. And who knows, maybe you have your own story to tell, a chilling encounter, a brush with the paranormal, a moment that sent shivers down your spine. Share your stories, keep the flames of fear alive, and remind us all that in the vast tapestry of human experience, there are some things we may never fully understand.